Welcome to CIS TSM 603 Telecommunications Management course. This short podcast is meant to introduce you to the main areas of the course in Canvas. So this is like a brief course overview from the perspective of resources, online resources that we have available for this course. So on the course homepage, you will see several important modules that I want you to familiarize yourself during the first week of this course. The first area is called course videos. Now I'm asking all online and also face-to-face students to start exploring the course in Canvas by clicking on this link. Now, since you're listening to this podcast, it means you have figured out where to click. So once you click on this link, you will see, and then you also need to open it in a new window, you will see all the videos, integrity videos available for this course. So right now you don't see the video that I'm recording because it's not done yet, but there will be a video called Course Overview. Here you have Chapter 10 video presentation in the so-called voice over PowerPoint format. For every chapter that I cover, I'll create a video presentation integrity. So this is for you to go back and study the course materials, at least study what was presented in class. So for every chapter there will be a video presentation. I like to split those video presentations into several parts because otherwise it would be like a one big recording. So I'm trying to split each video presentation for a chapter into meaningful parts or modules. Okay. So that's one important area. So please make sure you make use of this resource when you study or when you review for an exam. Okay, let's go back to the course homepage. Now there is another video link. It's called Blackboard Collaborate Sessions, live broadcasts and recordings. Now those are also course videos, and they will also include chapter video presentations, but the format of those videos will be different. Now here I'll be using this app called Blackboard Collaborate to broadcast our class sessions live. So during our official class time, I will switch on that broadcast, and when you click here, you should be able to go to sessions, and you will see like an upcoming session that will start during our official face-to-face class time. And then once the session is finished, it will appear here in recordings. So basically it will be like a live broadcast and then recording of each of our face-to-face sessions. So for example, if you're an online student and you wish to participate in this course, you can join us remotely online and you can watch the web broadcast. Also, I'm encouraging you to have a mic so you can use voice to ask questions during the lecture. If you don't have a mic, you can type your questions as well. You can also, if you have a mic, you can interact with other students. So I highly encourage you to do that if you're an online student, to join us every Monday using a web broadcast, or depending on when the course is officially scheduled. Now I will also include my chapter presentations in this broadcast, but they will be like less focused, a bit messier, because I may ask the audience questions, they may interject with their comments, or they may ask questions. So it will be a bit messier. Usually no matter what I do, sound quality tends to be a bit lower because when you're doing it live, sometimes you're moving around the room, sometimes you cannot hear a particular student well. But nevertheless, it should be a useful tool for those who wish to join us online, and that also includes face-to-face students who cannot come to class and wish to keep up with the course by joining us using this Blackboard Collaborate web broadcast. I think it's a great way to keep up as to what's happening in the course, because I will also make a lot of announcements. I will explain a lot of things in relation to the group project, for example. So I encourage everybody to join our web broadcast. Everybody who is taking this course online. But given the overlap between chapter video presentations and this broadcast, I suggest the following strategy. Each week, you either join us live to watch the broadcast live. Alternatively, you can look at a recording of that broadcast, so that will help you to keep up with chapter material and also with the things that we're doing in class. And later on, when you study for quizzes or prepare yourself for your midterm exam or final exam, you can use those clean chapter video presentations to focus more on the course content, as opposed to focusing on all kinds of administrative issues and discussions that we do in class. Okay, so this is a very important area. Introduction to the course. Now, this is the module, this is the area that we're going to cover during our first week or first session of the semester. I suggest you start with the instructor bio presentation. Those are PowerPoints that I put together when I was looking for a job that talks about my educational and professional background. Obviously, you will not be tested over this. This is just for you to get to know your instructor better, so you can see, some information about my education, about my experience, professional experience, about my teaching and research. So take a look at it. If you have any questions about my research or anything else I can be useful to you with, feel free to send me an email about this. So once you're done with that, you need to look at the syllabus. I mean, it's a very important document, as you well know. And unfortunately, sometimes, rarely, but sometimes I do have students who ask me questions at the end of the semester, and their questions kind of tell me that they have never opened the syllabus for this course. So make sure you read the syllabus from the very beginning. It's an important document that tells you about the content of the course, and also in a way it's like a legal contract between an instructor and a student, so that you know what to expect from the course, and also you know what my expectations are. Of course, sometimes you have no choice but to deviate from the syllabus a little bit, especially it happens when classes are canceled, due to weather or something else. But whenever I do a change to a syllabus, I always make sure that this change make things easier and manageable for students. So for example, I will never change the syllabus by adding additional topics or additional chapters. I mean, I will only simplify things to make sure that everybody can keep up with the course, in the light of the unforeseen circumstances that we might have. So take a look at the syllabus. It's a very important document. So it's right here. So here is information about my office hours, the best way to contact me, which is using email. By the way, please restrict email communication to personal issues only. If you want to ask something about project management or the group project, I require that you post your questions here so that everybody can see it. It's especially important for online students to have a communication forum. So if it's something related to the subject matter of this course, which is IT, telecommunications, project management, or the group project, then post your questions here. Only send me an email if it's something personal, meaning you don't want others to see it. Okay. So read the syllabus, please. I'm not going to go over it. By the way, I will go over the syllabus during our first class. So if you join our live broadcast, then you can hear my interpretations of the syllabus and also ask questions that you may have. But of course, it's very useful to read the syllabus, to take a look at it before it's formally introduced, so you're ready to ask questions. So this is where you'll post questions. Just to repeat it once again, this is where you post your questions in relation to the course. And again, if you're a student, then feel free responding to the questions from your peers. Like sometimes I can be away or maybe traveling. So if I cannot respond to it, then if you think that what to answer, what to say in response to a particular question from a student, then feel free to do that. In fact, I will really appreciate it. Now, I also want you all, before, in addition to the syllabus, I also want you all before our first meeting to read the following 3 papers, especially the first 2. The first one is called Chaos Report by Standish Group. It's a must read for anybody in project management, and I think most people in project management, they have read this report. It talks about amazing failure rate that IT project managers used to have, back in the 1990s, in the early days of the IT industry. And also this paper is a very good read. It talks about the major failures, classic mistakes, and best practices in project management. And this one is a more of a general read. It's about the role of information technology and information technology projects in an organization. But the first 2 reads, especially the second one, will give you an excellent introduction into the field of project management / IT project management. So please do that. It's not a requirement, by the way, but there will be some questions as we cover like chapter 1 that are related to the chaos report, and of course to the numerous failure stories, classic mistakes, and best practices of project management. So although I'm not requiring it formally, you will benefit by reading those reports, those papers, because you will see questions during quizzes and exams that are related to those 3 papers. Okay. Also, we're going to start with chapter 1 during our first class. We'll go over the syllabus, then we'll start talking about chapter 1. After we finish chapter 1, I set a deadline for a quiz, so we have a total of 10 quizzes here. So for example, if we finish it, let's say I finish chapter 1 on a particular Monday, then you'll have until Monday of next week to take that quiz. As it is explained in the syllabus, each quiz, it's online quiz, it's a take-home quiz. You have 2 attempts for each quiz, so you can take it once if you don't like your grade, or if or in general, take it once, and if you made mistakes, then try to go back to the chapter material to read more about that particular topic, and then retake the quiz to improve your grade. This quiz is meant to be like a self-study guide, a self-exploration tool. I just want you to keep up with the course material, and also I want you to kind of know where you stand. Unfortunately, I see like a lot of the times people don't take full advantage of those quizzes. What they do, they cheat. I guess they let somebody take this quiz, then they see their errors and they take it themselves. So I see all those people who are kind of shooting themselves in the leg because, I see like quiz 1, 100, quiz 2, 100, quiz 3, 100, 400, quiz 500, midterm exam, F, which kind of tells me that whatever they were doing with those quizzes was wrong. How can you get 100% on every quiz and then get an F for the exam? So I guess they were like cutting corners or even cheating, right? So do it the proper way. Use it as a study guide. Take it once without looking anywhere, right? And then see the mistakes that you make, then go back and try to refresh the topics where you made mistakes and take the quiz again. Use it as a self-study guide, not just like something that you want to tick, and by the way, each quiz is only 1% from your final grade. So if you just cheat, if you cut corners, you'll get this 1%, but then you'll lose a lot of points during actual exams. And overall, you're not going to learn much. So use them properly, use them as a study guide as opposed to some kind of check mark that you need to do. Okay, exams. We're going to have 2 exams in this course, midterm exam and final exam. Each exam will cover 5 chapters, so midterm exam will cover chapters 1 through 5. Final exam will cover chapters 6 through 10, so meaning the 5 chapters that we cover after the midterm exam. Now, final exam will also have like a component that is based on a case study, and we'll activate this case study right now. We're going to talk about this case study in the beginning of the semester, and then you will be sort of tested over this case study during the final exam. This is something that is related to assurance of learning, which is a part of our AACSB accreditation. It basically tests your overall understanding of project management and change management. So there will be like a weight attached to this, to this case study during final, meaning it's not going to be like a bonus assignment. Well, actually, you can earn bonus points if you do a great job answering those questions. So questions related to this case study, they will be included in the final exam, but they will not be like a major portion. It's more like for me to give you motivation to take them seriously. And again, if you take it seriously, you will earn some bonus points. Okay, writing workshop. Take a look at this handout. I will explain in class how to write well because we have a group project here that accounts for 50% of your final grade, and there are a lot of deliverables. Most of those deliverables, all of those deliverables, I would say, involve writing. So you need to make sure you write in a simple, clear, concise way. So this workshop or this handout explains like some of the most fundamental principles of effective writing, of effective written communication. So take a look at it, please, at some point. Here we have handouts. As we proceed through the course, I'll be giving you some additional materials, like optional materials to take a look at that explain or illustrate a particular point. I'll give like a real-world example. For example, like this is a CDC project template. It's called, I forgot, it's like Center for Disease Control. Yeah, that's what it is. So when I talk about project templates, I can show you like a specific template right here. Here we have some articles about estimating software cost, which is not really covered by one of your chapters. Here we have some video presentation. This is like a personality test that I encourage you to take. So take a look at those handouts to see what are the things and artifacts and videos and topics that we'll be dealing in this class. Okay, group project. Now, group project again is an important component. It comprises 50% of your grade. So here I will ask you to post all of your questions in relation to group project, general questions about the format, about deliverables. For each of the online, we have online students taking this course together with face-to-face students, and we'll talk more about it. I'll have a dedicated meeting to the group project for online students so that they can all ask questions and they can all get started. But online teams will have specific areas on Canvas where they will collaborate, and I will participate in those collaborations as well. Face-to-face students, they will collaborate in real time, and both online and face-to-face students, they'll be collaborating under Scrum framework. Now, Scrum is an agile project management methodology. So I kind of modified or customized this methodology for the purposes of this class. So the reason you'll be using this methodology to organize your group work is twofold. First of all, I think it's useful. It helps you to get organized. It gives you a platform or framework within which you will manage your group work. And number two, you'll also get exposed yourself to agile project management, because this entire course is largely about this classic waterfall approach to project management, meaning like this rigorous, step-by-step, highly organized approach. Agile is something that has been gaining momentum for a number of years now, for many years actually. And I believe Agile works better, especially when you're dealing with a lot of uncertainty. So that's why I want you to be exposed to both that traditional waterfall approach and Agile approach. Now, the course itself is largely about traditional waterfall approach, something that many big organizations still practice. But Scrum or any kind of any other Agile framework is becoming increasingly common. So that's why I'm introducing Scrum to you. So I will ask you to read about Scrum philosophy by reading some handouts by Jeff Sutherland, who is considered to be one of the founders of Scrum method. Also, I'll ask you to read Scrum Handbook or Scrum Guide. Scrum Guide is a short document. Scrum Handbook is a larger document. And also there are a number of video presentations. Let me know if any of those links are not working. Like, I'll ask you to learn a little bit about Scrum philosophy and then the Scrum methodology itself. And then I'll explain to you how this methodology will be used in class and also online. Take a look at sample projects, something that students did in the past. I mean, those projects are not perfect. This is just for you to show, what kind of final deliverable I'm expecting. Here's your product backlog that lists, I'm using Scrum methodology here, terminology, sorry. Now, a product backlog is basically a list of things that need to be done. So it's like a list of deliverables. Now, those deliverables are listed here. And then the way I see it, you'll be working on those deliverables throughout the semester. There are no specific deadlines except that the final report and final presentation are due on the last day of the semester, on the last day on the last class that we have in the semester, right? Our last class will be devoted to that. So your final report and your final presentation basically will involve compiling all those deliverables together into a report format and then making a PowerPoint presentation, up to 30 minutes in class about that final report that is comprised of all those deliverables. Closer to the presentation date, we'll talk about making effective presentations. I will talk about putting together slides and also general approaches for effective presentation. Again, we have sample presentations here, like the slides the students put together. Also, at the very end of the class, I will ask you to evaluate yourself and your team members. So a portion of your group project grade will be based on peer evaluation. So if you don't contribute much to your group work, then you'll get a low grade. Or it can be to the point where, like in the past, some students told me, look, this particular person didn't do anything for the group project. He never came to any meetings. So in that case, I will just assign you 0 for the entire group project. Because this group project peer evaluation allows you to give both. I'll switch it off for now, because I don't want people to be filling it in, and I need to plug in a different database to this. So you'll be providing both quantitative and qualitative evaluation for your group members. So please participate in your group work, because a significant portion of your group project grade, more specifically 20% or 10% of your final grade, is based on peer evaluation. Okay, friends, so this is an overview of our course in Canvas. If you have any questions, post them here. If you have any questions about the course format. Once again, I would like to remind you that I will be doing live web broadcasts, broadcasts for every session. This particular web broadcast will be, this semester, our official face-to-face class meetings are on Mondays, 6 to 9 p.m. So every Monday, unless we have a holiday, there will be a web broadcast that starts at approximately 6. I usually try to start exactly on time. You'll be able to join it like 15 minutes before. Again, use a mic if you want to talk to us online while we discuss things in relation to a particular chapter or anything else. So that's all I had to say. Again, if you have any questions, please put them here. If you have anything personal that you want others to see, send me an email, please. It's mentioned, it's listed here in the syllabus. So with all that being said, I would like to welcome you once again to this course. I also wish you best of luck in this semester. I hope you have a very fun and productive time with us. So talk to you later. Bye.